In this video, we're going to talk about the Transmission Control Protocol, better known as TCP. So when we're talking about our transport layer protocols, we have TCP and we have UDP. Now, one of them is connection oriented and the other one is not connection oriented. And this will make a lot more sense as we go through this lecture. So TCP is connection oriented, and before it sends any data to any other device, it does what we call is a three-way handshake. And so what is this three-way handshake? Well, the device that wants to communicate with the other device on the network, before it starts to communicate, so for example, you down here, let's say that you want to communicate with Gmail to check your emails. Before you start transmitting data back and forth, the first thing you're going to say is that, hey, Gmail, I want to communicate with you, and this is called the SYN portion of it. So number one, you send a SYN request to Gmail. And then if Gmail is able to communicate, they will acknowledge your request, which is what we call the SYN ACK. And right here we have our SYN ACK from Gmail. So Gmail is going to receive that request and then it's going to respond. And then lastly, you're going to acknowledge that you received Gmail's acknowledgement that it's ready to communicate, and that's called our final ACK. So that's our ACK, and that's why it's a three-way handshake. So let's go over it one more time. Number one, first you go to Gmail and you say, I want to communicate. That's number one. Number two, Gmail is going to confirm that it can communicate, so that's the second part. And thirdly, you're going to confirm with Gmail that you are ready to communicate. And once you complete all three steps, 1, 2, and 3, then you're able to send data back and forth reliably. And so this is why it's reliable, because it sets up this connection. And so we have this session set up between both you and Gmail before any data is ever sent. And so TCP is considered a reliable delivery method because of this three-way handshake and this virtual connection between both you and Gmail. And the reason why this is reliable is because it ensures that the data is delivered to Gmail that you send to it, or that the data that Gmail is sending to you is delivered to you through what we call is error checking. So what it does is that it does this data sequencing where the packets have a specific number assigned to them, and it's in order, let's say for example 1 to 10. And if for some reason you don't receive one of them and you don't respond to Gmail saying I received it, Gmail is going to go ahead and resend it. And so that's why TCP is a reliable connection-oriented method of sending data. So let's go ahead and let's flip to the second slide. And this is a screenshot of Wireshark. Wireshark is a different type of software that we in the IT world can use to listen to information or visualize information as it goes through a network. So anything that comes to your system, you can have Network Shark or Wireshark set on a mode where it's listening and it's outputting all that information. And here, right here, is a simple example of setting up that three-way handshake. So we have a device here, a source device and a destination device. The source sets up a request saying I want to communicate with you. The other device says, okay, I got it with the SYN ACK. I'm going to respond to you that I'm ready to communicate. And then the device that did the initial request says, okay, I received your acknowledgement. I'm going to acknowledge that. Let's go ahead and let's start sending data. So we have our three-way handshake, part 1, part 2, and part 3. And so that's our quick introduction to TCP. Now on the next slide, let's go ahead and let's start looking at UDP in our next lecture.